Bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising. Day is a-breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where is our dear family? Day is a-breaking in my soul. They are sowing fields of gladness. They are sowing fields of gladness. They are sowing fields of gladness. Day is a-breaking in my soul. I want you to imagine something hard. I want you to imagine the first night of being homeless. You have no home to return to. You've exhausted all your resources. No money, no credit, maybe even no car. Your family and friends are no longer able or willing to help. They may not even return your calls. You may no longer even have friends or family. You may not even have a phone. You are utterly alone. It's just you and the night. Some years ago, I took part in a street retreat where I lived on the streets of San Francisco for 7 days with a group of several other people. And I knew this experience wasn't homelessness. I could leave at any moment. I was choosing to be there. All my life's resources were intact. So it wasn't an experience of pretending to be something that I wasn't. And even still, even despite knowing all of that strength or safety was behind me, my first feeling as the experience began was complete terror. I had no idea who or what was safe, so everything felt like a threat. So I just kept walking to tamp down the fear, tamp away it. I longed to find a safe place, and in my walking found this little fenced-in park where I could rest. And I sat in that park. I watched kids play basketball. I watched other folks sitting and enjoying the sunny day. and I was there, barely able to move. I remember struggling so much in this experience that I was afraid to even ask a stranger for the time. As noon came, I thought at least, and hunger became strong, I considered skipping lunch so I didn't have to leave that park. I knew that there was a local church somewhere around that served a meal, but I had no idea where that church was. But I willed myself to walk. Eventually, I saw the crowds and found the church, and I ate my first meal in that 7-day experience. And things became easier. I now understood that I could feed myself, and my mind returned. There was still fear to overcome, but what I was experiencing as kind of an emotional paralysis was over, and I carried on. Homelessness is one of the greatest of human terrors. The isolation, the loneliness, the exposure. Author and teacher Martha Beck talks about the fear of becoming a bag lady. Not my favorite term, but a very concrete description of a primal panic that many people have of poverty, homelessness, and social rejection. I'm actually a big believer that this is why we so deeply marginalize people who are poor. They remind us of something that we fear the most. David Wells, a beautiful poet, wrote, "Those who will not slip beneath the still surface on the well of grief, turning downward through its black water to the place we cannot breathe, will never know the source from which we drink, the secret water cold and clear, nor find in the darkness glimmering the small round coins thrown by those who wished for something else." I always think poetry needs a second read or more. And this poem I've been reading for years, and every time I read it, I find more in it. Those who will not slip beneath the still surface on the well of grief, turning downward through its black water to the place we cannot breathe, will never know the source from which we drink, the secret water, cold and clear, nor find in the darkness glimmering the small round coins thrown by those who wished for something else. I ran across a social media post somewhat coincidentally yesterday that said, "We cannot help someone through the darkness unless we've walked through the darkness ourselves. We cannot offer hope unless we found our way through our own hopelessness." Some years ago, my organization, the homeless agency I work for, went through a renaming. And as a homeless agency, we wanted a name that expressed our values and our vision. And we chose the name Beacon because we wanted to be that light in the darkness, that light at the end of the tunnel. We wanted to be that safe light in the middle of the night when you find yourself all alone with nowhere to turn. But the thing about darkness, the thing about a tunnel, is that the scariest tunnels are the ones where we don't know that it's a tunnel at all. It's a cave, or worse, it's a collapsed pile of rock, a coffin, where we are trapped, unable to break free, unaware that there is even an end, unaware that the light even exists. The light comes when it does come, without us even knowing that light was possible, making that light all the more powerful. There is a quote in the Lord of the Rings that I probably share too much in my sermons with you all, but it's truly some of the great wisdom, and so I'm going to keep repeating it because it keeps working for me, so hopefully it does for you too. And then it was in the book and in the movie, and it's a scene where two hobbits, Frodo and Sam, are these very diminutive, gentle people, and they find themselves in the center of a horrible journey to help save the land from evil. And they're desperate. They are not seeing any possibility. They're struggling to carry on. And Frodo says, "I can't do this, Sam." And Sam says, "I know it's all wrong. By rights, we shouldn't even be here. But we are." It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you, that meant something, even if you were too small to understand why. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now. Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't, because they were holding on to something. Frodo asks, "What are we holding on to, Sam?" And Sam triumphantly declares that there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. Sam looks to the old stories to find the light. That's how he finds it. And in doing so, he becomes the light for Frodo. He becomes the way out of despair. Some of you right now may find yourself trapped in such darkness and such loss and such isolation. You may be struggling with a relationship or a divorce. You may feel alienated from family or from your friends or from your children or your parents. Some of you may have lost a loved one, someone who had been that light so many times for you. Some of you may be struggling with work, not knowing how to make it through an extraordinary challenge, or feeling a sense of separateness, of not fitting in, of not belonging. Some of you may be feeling a sense of purposelessness. Why am I here? What am I here to do? How can my little old life have any meaning? Some of you may be struggling with the state of your city or town, of our state, of our nation, of our planet. How do you find the light? How do you come to know there is light at all? And some of you, today, you might have swum in this darkness so long that you found your way out. You are shining. You are lit up. You are glowing. You are the beacon. You are the gift. And we need you more than ever. We need people who glow. But there are no shortcuts. We only truly glow if we've done the work. You face the fear. You've embraced the grief. You've been consumed by the anger. You have risen from the depths. You have found the source from which we drink, the secret water, cold and clear. You have found in the darkness, glimmering, the small, round coins thrown by those who wished for something else. As we engage with a world that can certainly be shaped but can never be commanded into what we wish it to be, it's so important to hold on and to learn to swim in the darkness. It's also so important to let your light shine. One of my favorite lines from this little light of mine, not gonna make it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Because we can't make it shine. But when it's burning bright, may we offer it as a gift to others looking to find their way home. Not gonna make it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Not gonna make it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Not gonna make it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Shalom, amen, and blessed be.
There's a fire that we're born with. There's a fire that we're born with.